So tonight I'm talking about loss and how loss has affected me this year and how it'll probably affect me the rest of my life. Because loss is just a natural part of life. So how I'm going to talk about it is the story of my dad. Um, for those who are curious, it was 2012, Christmas Day, and we were eating dinner, my family, just immediate family, and my dad was complaining about a pain in his stomach and didn't think much of it, but he did have to go to the doctor that day while we shared dinner. And he left, he came back, and he told us that he had cancer. And it didn't seem serious. Maybe it didn't seem real. But to me, I was under the impression that these kinds of things couldn't happen to me, and his cancer would be mild and it would go away, and that would be the end of it. And I was living in Chicago. I wasn't really around my dad, and I started to. It was actually 2011, excuse me. Just we experienced a lot in 2012. Oops. But I knew it was 2011 too. But anyway, I ended up moving to Chicago later that year because I found out my dad had gotten cancer my senior year, but it wasn't a big deal. It didn't really consume much of my life. So anyway, I I lived in Chicago. He had had surgery. It had all gotten removed, and then it came back. And I found out that it came back. And he got surgery again, and it came back again. And every time it came back, it was worse. And it was starting to become apparent what was happening. And I was still kind of denying it. Denying it because I wanted to be tough. Denying it because I wanted to be the rock. Because that's how I had spent my whole life, is being there for people and not really being there for myself. So I get the news that it's serious. I move back home and I wait. I get to witness it happen. And I would talk to my dad, and he would talk about how when he was gone, I should be strong and that I shouldn't let it affect my life in a negative way. I should be happy that I got to experience life with him, and I should celebrate his life, and I shouldn't make a big deal about it. Because that's a relationship that I shared with my dad. I guess that's a relationship my dad tried to share with everybody. But I made him the promise. I made him the promise every single day until he was gone. And leading up to it, I never really cried. And then the morning that I lost my dad, I was actually really happy. I ate with my family. I had just made it back from Chicago. And I think my dad was waiting for me, because I went into the room, and a few hours later, I watched my father pass away. And I cried. Because it was hard. And I just thought of everything he said, and how I think I was disappointed that I couldn't be strong, because I didn't want to let him down. And it taught me a lot. Loss, that moment, I didn't get to appreciate it as much because so much other stuff was going on in my life that I placed way too much importance on, that now I realize is just pointless. But I lost my dad, and I've grown to be a better man because of it, because of him, because of everything. And I know there's not a whole lot of lesson, but I think it speaks for itself. Don't let those losses control your life and bring you down. Let them build you up. Let them make you a better person. That's what my dad wanted for me. That's the man that I decided that I wanted to be. I gave myself one day to be emotional, and that was the day I lost him. And then from that point on, I was the strongest version of myself that I could be on a daily basis. And it wasn't always easy, but I live in my father's shadow for the great man that he was. And that's how you need to look at loss. When you lose somebody, let it strengthen you, because that's what they want for you. Don't let it bring you down. I love my dad. I miss my dad. I can't believe my dad is gone, but I'm happy. Not because he's gone, but because I got to have him. And I love him. And I love where I'm at because of him. So, if anybody's lost anybody, you understand. And for those who ever have to go through it, be strong. You'll make it out alive. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.